this meeting.
Okay.
Yes, it's an NRT carbon project update meeting. Today is Monday, 3rd of June. It's a 1 hour meeting. So thank you everybody for coming, and we can get right into it. I've published the agenda. I'll just highlight it a little bit on my side. That we'll review the work in progress, including the challenges. That's one, and then two, we'll ask for feedback from the we'll give feedback, sorry, from the animation team so that you know how the animation is progressing. And then we'll have a discussion on the next steps. So those are the 3 steps really that we're going through. So it's an informal meeting in the sense of discussion. It's not necessarily me talking throughout. So feel free to just interject. If you have something to ask or if you have anything that you'd like to comment, it's good to just speak so that we can have an open discussion, which is at least communicating the issues, and at the same time, you can say not really a formal one, but a discussion, which is recognizing everybody's role in this work. So if we do it that way, I think it'll be more productive and meaningful to us. So I'll do an overview first. The overview of the production so far is that we have completed what we normally call pre-production, and now we're in the stage of production. We have presented. Sorry, let me just put my phone on mute. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we have provided you with documentation to track the progress, and as we're speaking, we are at the 52% mark, something like this, in terms of the production. So it's fairly advanced because this is the most complicated part of the job where the work gets very technical. But once we're past the technical difficulties, then it goes very quickly. So between 50% to 65%, that range is the most difficult. It's really from the 40% to 65%. That range is very difficult. But it's okay because then the people we work with, they're familiar with it. So this is where we are. And in terms of what is done, which is important, is we have gotten approval on the script, even though it's not signed, but it's on the email communication. So we're generally, Shibiha has mentioned 90% of it is agreeable, which is good to say. And the next thing then for us was to make sure that we show you the characters we're working with. And we need you to look at the characters. Nobody has commented on them, but it's good to look at them because they need to represent the audience. And then, of course, we have provided you with a schedule that outlines the steps. We have given you the storyboard, which helps to visualize the story, the script, and also an animatic. The animatic has the recordings of English and Swahili. So these ones we're familiar with, but that's now where we have gone. And it helps us to frame. Yes, go ahead. Someone was speaking. Fred, Steve.
No. Go ahead, Machine.
All right. Okay, so we're at the
Let
stage
me
of
just mute
animatic.
myself.
Okay, no worries. At the stage of the animatic, which showed the voiceover and the visuals, we now finished what we would say is pre-production. So we enter now into production. Production is where we now take the animatic, which you've seen, and we add movement to it. And that's what we're doing now. So there's a lot more complexity, but that's the stage we're at the minute. And we hope to get you this pre-visualization within the next 2 days. That's how we hope to have it to you. And when you see it, you're going to now see for the first time the characters moving within their roles and with their voices and in the story. So you have movement, you have characters designed, you have background, you also have the story, which is the important thing. Within the story, you have the message. So then you get a sense of the flow. It's rough, of course. The pre-visualization is coming before the actual animation, but it's a rough animation to show you how it's going to come. It's helpful in making decisions because if you see something or you get a better sense of it and you feel that this one looks like there's a problem here or there, it's not a bad place to say, because even though some work has gone into it already, the final work has not been done. It's still being done. So you can always correct and suggest things in the movement and maybe in the design of the scenes which you feel need to be changed. So that is the purpose of the pre-visualization. At this point, we assume the story is not changing, not in a major way. And we also assume that the characters are not changing in a major way. So those two. But look at the work when you get it, and then tell us what you feel in the movement needs to be corrected, or suggest what you feel is not working. So things like those. All right, so I won't say too much on that, but that's where we have reached. And once that is done, pre-visualization, we go into the animation. And we'll also show you an animation, which will now be showing the lip movement. The mouths now and the actions now will be matching the words. So you get a stronger sense of how the movement is flowing. That will come after the pre-visualization. And then after that, now comes coloring and finishing. Coloring is coloring, you add color. And then, of course, finishing is where we combine everything into a final product, which you can see. So that's what we see happening within the first 3 weeks of June. Yeah, so that's the review. If there's any comment, any suggestion, any addition you'd like to make before we look at the next stage on the agenda, we can discuss. Anyone who wants to say anything?
It's pretty clear for me. I don't know if the rest of the team. Carlos and Utali, do you have any contribution on that?
No, on my end.
21st June, so we'll be traveling
We can
on
proceed.
20th, then coming back on the 22nd.
That sounds very exciting with Sophia and in Europe.
Okay, you say you'll be traveling, but it's okay. We'll be online. So even if you're not around, you'll get the communication online. Yeah. Hello, Carlos, you okay with what we were saying?
Yes, Martin, I'm okay.
Okay. And Peter, Masime. Okay. I just want to now share this page, but if you need me to share it with you again, I'll share it again. But it's one of the links that we have provided. And this link, it shows you it helps you to track the production, so that if at any point you need to know where we are or what is happening, you come to this page. It's like, we call it a production activity sheet. But these ones highlighted in blue are done. So pre-production is done. The script was the starting point, but these other things are done. There is a schedule here. If you click on this link for the schedule, you'll get to see the percentage of work done. So I can open that here. It shows this way. All these ones in dark blue are fully done. The ones in shades of blue are halfway done. But this 51% is where we have reached. I haven't filled it out for today, but I'll fill it out after this meeting. So this will go up slightly. And then when you look at the, this is it. This is the document. These are all benchmarks. In other words, we have something to show you at the end of every one of these stages. I'm highlighting here pre-visualization, this one, because this one is where we are now, and it's a rough movement of the characters in context. So you see them within the scene moving. So this is what we want to have within 2 days with you. Once that's done, these animation layouts are also deliverables, but there's a scene plan. You can always check it out. It's a technical document, but it's okay to look at it if you want. It's provided, so it's okay. This one, rotoscoping, where we have now the character animation. This is what I'm saying is coming next after the pre-visualization. We now do the detailed final animation on top of it. And then, of course, comes the lip syncing, where we synchronize the lip movement with the actions so that now they look like they're talking. At this point, the animation is really almost all done, really, because next we come now to coloring. So we color, and then we add the final backgrounds. The backgrounds which are in the pre-visualization are sketches, but we put in the final backgrounds here. And then we composite. Compositing is where we build the scenes, finally. And once that's done, you get your first cut. The first cut is this one. Okay? So after lip syncing, after that, these three move fairly quickly. These ones. The ones that move slowly is these ones I'm highlighting. Pre-visualization and animation layouts, they go together. Rotoscoping, which is the character animation, and then this lip syncing of the characters. This one is the difficult one. So we're some of us are already rotoscoping here, already started. But some are on the pre-visualization, and very soon some will be on the lip syncing. So everybody's working at different speeds. All right. Now, the focus of the first cut will be English and Kiswahili. English and Kiswahili. That's the focus. However, if I can move to the second agenda item, which is this one on, we're calling it feedback from the animation team. What the issue the animation team has had during the time we had these floods was I found most of the animators having power outage or connection problems. So we work online, so they found it difficult to keep to the timelines. It caused a delay on our part. So in some ways, this is why I had to rewrite the schedule to the 21st, because the earlier dates we were talking of had to be moved slightly to account for the disruption. But if we're agreeable, then for sure by 21st you'll be having your final cut, the final. So that's one. In terms of the workflow, which now is item number 3, the next steps. Even before I go there, maybe I can invite Steve. Is there anything you'd like to add, Steve, on feedback from the animation team? Maybe as the audio, you can give some feedback.
Right now, I think we are working on the translations into the other 4 languages that are apart from English and Swahili,
Yeah.
which we're going to be recording soon. And we're also doing auditions for actors in Samburu, Borana, Masai, and is it Somali? Yes. So that we are ready. Once the animation is done, we are going to be lip syncing those languages into the animation that is done. So that comes as a second stage after we finished with English and Swahili. Yeah, so you'll be able to see English and Swahili before we do those other languages. That is Samburu, Somali, Turkana, and Borana, I think. Yes.
That's right.
So we are working on that right now.
That's right. So this is part of the next step. So we hope by end of this week to have these translations in. We'll supply them to the team for feedback and approvals. And once that's done, let's say by next week, we then move on to these dry voiceover recordings. The dry voiceover recordings involves bringing the actors from from wherever they are, from Samburu, from, let's say, northern Kenya, bringing them to the studios in Nairobi so that they can record their voices. And we're working with a minimum of 8 actors, so 8 Samburus, 8 Somali, 8 Turkana, and 8 Borana, something like that. That is to give you an indicator of the size of the team, because we have versions of each production in these languages. So we are casting them based on this script. By end of next week, we hope to have casted them, which means we have identified the actors. We're looking more for actors. And once we have them, we will then make arrangements through NRT for them to come here to Nairobi so we can record them. That's what we're calling the dry voiceover recordings. It's good to be aware of that because the communication on email will start coming in that way. Once they are recorded, we'll immediately supply you with animatics just to show you how their voices are working. Once that's approved, we'll supply you now with the second cut in all the languages now, from English all the way up to Borana. By then, there will be feedback coming. We should have feedback from the first cut. When the feedback comes, we make corrections and we provide the second cut on everything: English, Swahili, Samburu, Somali, Turkana, and Borana. And then, of course, you'll now run your tests, you run your workshops, you'll come back to us finally, I suppose, for what we're calling the final cut. So this can be, if we're meeting regularly, then we can decide on these dates for the meetings and feedback. That's the flow. That's what's expected. That's what's coming. The schedule, as I had indicated, is this one. And if you want to see it visually, we have this Gantt chart, but it shows these red markings are the important milestones. But the final day is here, and you can see where we are flowing based on what's highlighted. Yeah, these go by the different items on the list that we have indicated. Yes, just a list we haven't put. And the dates are up here. If you look at the top, you'll see the dates. So you can track using this visual one where we have reached. Right now, we're on the previous. So let me look for it. Yeah, it's here. So right now, we are down here on the pre-visualization on this chart. And that is indicated over here. But some of us are already in the middle of this rotoscoping, and very soon some of us will be on the lip syncing. So that's happening. But at the same time, on this chart, we're also doing the translation for these languages here. So you can see that indicated on the chart here. So this is roughly where we are as we progress. This is the difficult stage, but once we get to somewhere here, this line lip synced, this one, then the rest goes fairly fast. So that's the flow. It gives you an idea of the flow. Okay, that then is the substance of the meeting. Again, we invite you to make comments and to feel free to discuss with us anything that you might want to discuss. I'm opening it out to everybody. Okay. If there's nothing to discuss on that one and it's clear, then let me just end by saying that we will be writing with the other team, the larger team, to facilitate, according to our contract, the areas that need facilitation. For example, bringing the Samburus and the people from Northern Kenya to come to have their voices recorded. There's a facilitation required for that. It's in the contract. So we will be communicating, and you will see it on the system, on the email. I think when I speak with Shabiha, he normally wants to get feedback from yourselves. And he's talked about Priscilla. He needs feedback from her. And of course, Carlos, and also Peter, who are familiar with it. The feedback they give helps him to make his mind up. So we'll communicate with him. We'll also communicate with Osman. And we will always let you know. If we say this is agreeable, can we say we meet again Monday, but same time next week, just 1 hour, 10 to 11, and that way we can at least meet what Shibiha feels is important that we need to be discussing. Are we able?
Yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah, I think let's keep it to Monday.
Okay, Monday from 10 to 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are there any questions from the NRT side? They're happy with the progress.
Mine is really not a question, but just a comment on the translations.
Yes.
So you guys give me the work to do the translation with the to probably subcontract someone to help me to do that.
Yes.
And the Samburu translation is 80% complete, and probably share it probably on Wednesday or Thursday. That depends on how busy I will be. For the Turkana, the Samburu, this Turkana, Borana, and Somali, I really would ask if I will not have got people who can be able to help, then I will definitely have to forward that job to Priscilla and Utali for the same search, because getting the Samburu cast was the hardest job for me. But if you can work together with Priscilla and Utali, probably you can get the other characters.
Okay, that sounds positive. Yes, why not? The idea is to try to do it together to make it happen in a good way, which is accurate, good quality, and at the same time quickly, I suppose. So I think I support that. If some Priscilla and Peter can help Carlos to find actors in all the languages, this will be fantastic. And remember, we look for actors, more of actors, people who can have emotion when they speak, so that they're interesting. You know, human beings need interesting people to talk to. So that's really what we're looking for. So if you can find them, then that will be supportive. Okay, so
Yeah, and also they have to be able. They also have to be able to speak the languages properly, without speaking. You know, there's a way you can speak Isamburu and someone knows. Oh, that one did not grow up in Samburu. They grew up in Nairobi or Mombasa, so their Samburu is not that good. So let's find people who can speak the language properly. You know. About translations, I'm sure you can find people to translate. Um, I'm sure NRT translates documents a lot. The people who translate the documents for you can do it. Sure. I don't know whether Priscilla can answer to this. I don't know. Or Peter.
I think I have a comment on that. For so for the Samburu translation, I think it's taken care of. The characters that we are using are the same characters we used in previous cartoons, and so they understand with a good director. I think they can do a good job. On the translation, I'm also thinking, if we we can set one day, before recording, just to sit with the group and agree on the final script. No, because now we are only working, two of us or three of us on the script, but then it needs like all of us to be in the same page, the same like agree on some words and all that, together with either Priscilla or Rutali. We probably sit in a place like Isiolo. If Priscilla and Rutali will not travel with the team, then we can agree on the script. Then we can record it later on the next day. So that was another request, that like we can keep the team in Isiolo for like a whole day agreeing on the script. Then they can travel then the next day.
Yeah, I like that, because again, it kind of guarantees the outcomes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So I think that's good. Yes. Okay. Any comment on that?
Okay. So you'll be able to get the Boranas, the Somalis, and the Turkanas.
I'm so sure about the Borana, because one of the regional directors helping me do that. But Somali and Turkana,
okay,
is 50-50. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm sure you can talk to people probably in the conservancies where Turkanas are, and see. It's just talking to people. You will find people just by talking to people.
Martin, we will follow up on that on the Turkana and Somali. Maybe by Monday we'll be able to give you guys feedback.
Do you know anyone who speaks
Yeah. So
Portuguese, and
yeah, because we can able to get the translators, but the actors now is the tricky part. You know, how do you know that this person can act?
Sure.
Yeah.
Utali, maybe to answer Utali and just give him like something he can work on. I've talked with the Nasulu RC, and if you can talk to him, if you can talk to the Nasulu RC, he will be able to really help us a lot. So I think you can work closely with the Nasulu RC, then tuone venye tunasaidiana.
Okay, thanks, Carlos.
okay.
So. Okay, it's good. It's 10:41. Any other business or anything else that needs attention? Okay. If there's no other business, we can end it on this note. We meet again on Monday. And yes, go ahead, Peter. You wanted to add?
Martin, this comment that you received from Carlos and Kieran about the script, were they take care of in terms of making the amendments as per their comments?
Yes. We added them and they're in the animatic, which go to that page. I'll share with you again on email. You can always confirm that they are correct. But
okay, sir.
Okay. So thanks for coming, guys. I'll end it on this note, but we see you next Monday at 10 o'clock. I'll share this link after the meeting so that we all have access to the meeting.
Okay, thanks.
Asante.
Okay, Martin.
Thank you for
See
coming.
you. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye bye.